Welcome to the International Show, sponsored by Star Central and presented by the gentleman of country radio, Mark Eckel, with Australia's First Lady of Song, Shaza Leigh.
And g'day everyone, it's fabulous to have you on board our international show. Mark Eckel behind the microphone, and I'd like to welcome my co-host out of Tamworth, the capital of country music in Australia, Shaza Leigh. Hello, Shaza.
Hey Mark, wonderful to be with you, and welcome all our listeners around the world and our Australian audience here this morning.
Well, what a real great show we have today lined up, Shaza. You'll have in the studio as we work through the show today the fabulous Cole Thompson, and he'll be live and he'll be presenting his brand new song, and I'm looking forward to that.
I'm really excited about this track. I wrote this song earlier this year, and when we finished it, Lindsay said, I believe that Cole Thompson should be the one to record that, and so we gave it to Cole. He loved it. We finally cut it and released it, and it's just coming out in time for all the summer awards season for Australian country music.
I knew Lindsay would say that because listening to the lyric, they're our heritage, and it really is a wonderful traditional song, so we'll hear more about that when Cole comes into the studio, Shaza, so that's really fabulous. I thought we'd probably start the program off today with our number ones on our hot tracks. How does that sound?
Yeah, look, the Oz Hot Tracks were released last night, and these are all the top tracks across the subgenres. So the top 5 songs in each category released, getting airplay in Australia over the last month. And so we thought we might kick off with the number 1 contemporary track, and this is a song that it has just hit the airwaves and it just up and running straight away. It's a song that people were really excited to have on their radio shows. Is Craig Lloyd's new single.
Terrific.
You're listening to a Star Central single release, available to radio stations around the world.
There were 2 young lovers living on a cattle run, building their lives together under the heat of the burning sun, holding hands like lovers do, singing a song that they both knew, dancing in time to their own tune. That's how their love grew. They burned so bright you could see it, they shone from within, you could feel it. Blue jean lovers from Tennessee, 2 hearts not afraid to dream. They burned so bright you could see it, they shone from within, you could feel it. Blue jean lovers from Tennessee, some things are just not meant to be. In a white wooden church, they made vows till the day they died. Life's not always certain, it can change in the blink of an eye. 2 years on, working on their farm, out of the blue she fell hard, out of the saddle before he knew it, she was gone. It burned so bright you could see it, they shone from within, you could feel it. Blue jean lovers from Tennessee, 2 hearts not afraid to dream. They burned so bright you could see it, they shone from within, you could feel it. Blue jean lovers from Tennessee, some things are just not meant to be. And he cries on his own at night, on his knees, finding the strength to fight, to believe that their love won't fade away, won't fade away. They burn so bright you could see it, they shone from within, you could feel it. Blue jean lovers from Tennessee, 2 hearts not afraid to dream. They burn so bright you
Star Central team thanks you for listening to another great artist.
And he is a great artist. That's the fabulous Craig Lloyd. And I don't know, he just keeps on pumping out quality product, this Victorian, doesn't he, Shaza?
He does. I've always loved his voice from the first time I heard him sing on a recording, and the productions, as we always say, are just brilliant, and so therefore Craig's songs are always really highly sought after on radio.
Yeah. Now, we're going to go to Alice Benfer now, because she was a long-time friend of mine in the industry, and it was great to catch up with her at the awards. She was nominated at Tamworth last year, and the reason that I wanted to contact her is that her album is absolutely superb, and she's already taken one step in order of the fabulous tracks with Old Felt Hat to number 1. And I'm predicting that this next track, Reasons, will also take number 1.
Well, when the Oz Hot Tracks were released last night, it actually polled at number 1 in the traditional country section. And so on the traditional national chart, she's number 1. And also in the Australiana and Bush Ballad chart, this same song is number 1. This is her new single. It's called Reasons. I've known Alice since she was a little girl, and to see the way that she's actually blossomed into one of our finest female vocals in Australia is just heartwarming for everyone that's followed her career since she started. So Alice Benfer with Reasons, number 1 traditional track and Australiana Bush Ballad.
Well, that's absolutely massive. Okay, let's go to Alice.
He prayed to the sky for water. How he longed to hear the rain. This barren ground is cracked and broken. Storm clouds may never come again. He never had no time for dreaming, 'cause you know dreams just don't pay the bill. Cows won't milk themselves while you're wishing for somewhere far beyond these hills. Why is it he stays? Sometimes he doesn't know. So many reasons to just let go. In life we all make choices, then you gotta do your best, even when the reasons don't make sense. Looking in the eyes of his daughter, how he wished he could explain. Once in a while a grown man needs to shed a tear, but he won't ever let her see his pain. Why is it he stays? Sometimes he doesn't know. So many reasons to just let go. In life we all make choices, then you gotta do your best, even when the reasons don't make sense. In life we all get choices, sometimes it's your best guess, even when the reasons don't make sense.
Yes, that's the fabulous Alice Benfer there. And as Shaza said, and it's a credit to her, I tell you, she's number one in the traditional country hot tracks for August 2024, and also the Australiana and Bush Ballad at number one there too. You are tuned in to Allied International Radio, also Oz Radio Gold and Oz Country Music Radio. Well, the next section that we have, because we're going to play from the Hot Tracks country radio charts because they're only released today, and we're so proud that you can be a part of that release. We're going to go down to the international and country gospel. What can you tell us about that, Shaza?
Look, the number one track, there were some amazing gospel tracks that are released over the last couple of months, but the number one track was by Beverly Brown Simms, and Beverly is from Alabama in the USA. She's just been signed to a label over there, and she's a specialist gospel and Christian country performer. It was wonderful to see the response to her song here in Australia and around the world with all of the partner stations. Let Me Tell You is the name of the track, our number one inspirational track on the Oz Hot Tracks in August.
Let me tell you what God has done. Let me tell you where He brought me from. How He picked me up, how He made me whole, how He saved my soul. Let me tell you what God can do. What He's done for me, He'll do for you. Won't you give me just a moment? Let me tell you what God can do. There was Daniel in the lion's den, but my God rescued him. 3 Hebrew boys in the fire, they did not burn. And then Lazarus, when Jesus called him by name, he got up from the ground. He won't rise out of that grave. Let me tell you what God has done. Let me tell you where He brought me from. How He picked me up, how He made me whole, how He saved my soul. Let me tell you what God can do. What He's done for me, He'll do for you. Won't you give me just a moment? Let me tell you what God can do. My whole world had crumbled. Everything had gone wrong. A melody stopped playing. I lost my song. But when I called on Jesus, He turned my world around. Found a love like I've never seen, joy like I've never known. Let me tell you what God has done. Let me tell you where He brought me from. How He picked me up, how He made me whole, how He saved my soul. Let me tell you what God can do. What He's done for me, He'll do for you. Won't you give me just a moment? Let me tell you what God can do. Let me tell you what God has done. Let me tell you where He brought me from. How He picked me up, how He made me whole, how He saved my soul. Let me tell you what God can do. What He's done for me, He'll do for you. Won't you give me just a moment? Let me tell you what God can do. Won't you give me just a moment? Oh, just a little moment. Won't you give me just a moment? Let me tell you what God can do.
Yes, that's Beverly Simms there, and Tell Me What God Can Do. What a great Christian song. And I just can't wait for Beverly's next song. She said that she's very excited about it, Shaz, so we look forward to that in the coming month.
Yeah, look, she's an amazing artist, and her team are really doing great things with her career. So we're very fortunate at Star Central to have been involved with the promotion of her career from ground level, and we're really excited about her future.
Yes, because the label has insisted that she stay with us, so that's a great credit to Star Central.
Absolutely, and they're a pretty motivated label as well, so it's going to be really exciting times into the future, and we have some really wonderful associations that Star Central has built with major record companies and labels, and we look forward to presenting a whole heap of new talent into the future.
Yes, partnerships and networking is what it's all about to get the independent artists out, that's for sure. Let's go over to Western Australia now, because you know how much I love Highway 95 with Nicole, and Bob writes such wonderful music. You like this one too, don't you?
I do. I think that Nicole has a great vocal ability. I think she's an extraordinary singer, and their tracks always sound that little bit different. So I find that they're very unique on radio. Great to see them at number one in the alternate country section.
Yes, and it looks like they might be making their way over to Tamworth, so that'll be great in January.
They are. They've been booked on the National Jamboree in the Town Hall, which is actually run by the CCMA and supported by the Regional Council. And so Nicole and their team, Highway 95, are going to be performing on that National Jamboree.
Fantastic. All right, here they are, Highway 95, and the song is called Voices.
House alone, my friend, I'm dying, I'm crying, walk of shame at 6 a.m. Sun comes up, the day begins, now I'm falling, I'm crawling, it's how I deal with losing you, the one I couldn't hold on to. And I'm careless, I'm helpless. It's how I deal with losing you, the one I couldn't hold on to. But these voices, oh, in my head won't let go, won't give in. It's you I've lost and I can't win. I'm begging, oh I'm praying, but these voices, these voices. These voices, oh, in my head won't let go, won't give in. It's you I've lost and I can't win. I'm begging, oh, I'm praying, oh, I'm praying, but these voices, oh, in my head won't let go, won't give in.
Yes, that's Highway 95 and Voices, one of my favourite tracks going around today, and one of my favourite people too. I just love Nicole and Bob. I think they do excellent work over there in Western Australia. And for those people that are not in the know internationally, they are at a town that's way out back Australia. So what they do with their music, they need to be congratulated. Just fantastic. Highway 95 Voices, the alternate country, and number 1. And coming in number 2, Miguel Rios there too with Innocent Man. Darren Gillis with Drink. Kathy Dobson with Everybody Knows, and Don Allen still hanging in there with a great song called Suzanne. Now we're going to go to the international country. Now we love the international country because it brings us all these fabulous names that the locals haven't heard of until Star Central have got a hold of them and promoting them worldwide, Shaz.
That's true. We've had some amazing talent that's been unveiled from America that have released, and also over in Ireland too. There's been a lot of artists that have come through. One of the true success stories has been Levi Kobe, who's hit number 1 in a whole host of charts and received an enormous attention since you unearthed him. This next bloke who's made it to number 1 in the international chart and the hot tracks this month is Eric Diamond, and you found Eric as well, and look, he does amazing work. His tracks are brilliantly recorded, and he's one of the big time favourites over there in Western Swing.
Yes, and the other names, folks, Parker and Johnson with Cowgirl Angel, which is actually co-written by KC Lacoste. Also, Beverly Brown Simms comes up again with Let Me Tell You. Levi, as Shaz has just said, but with his new one, My F-150, which is a brilliant song. And Garrett Gregory. Now, you're going to hear plenty about this fella because this song, She Don't Need to Drink to Dance, he's out of Canada, is absolutely amazing. What a great song. But without any further ado, this is the wonderful Eric Diamond and Oklahoma Bound.
I spent a year one night in New York City. I tried to find a girl to dance with me, but I couldn't find a bar with country music, so I headed down to Nashville, Tennessee. I spent a lot of time down on Broadway. The music from those bars was country gold. The girls there were fine, but not the Tulsa kind. Oklahoma's calling me home. I'm Oklahoma bound, where Bob Wills music can be found, where two-step is the thing, they still love their western swing. I'm Oklahoma bound. The ladies there still love the dancing cowboy. At closing time they're up for having fun. If you want to stand a chance, you best know how to dance. I'm a rug-cutting son of a gun. I'm Oklahoma bound, where Bob Wills music can be found, where two-step is the thing, they still love their western swing. I'm Oklahoma bound. I'm Oklahoma bound, where Bob Wills music can be found, where two-step is the thing, they still love their western swing. I'm Oklahoma bound. I'm Oklahoma bound.
Very popular Eric Diamond and Oklahoma Bound, and here he is touring through the States at this very moment. All right, the next one we're going to do back-to-backs here, Shaz, I think. It's the instrumental section, and we've got two rippers at the top of this chart.
We do, and coming in at number one for August in the Oz Hot Tracks is Peggy Gilchrist with Fraser Island. Now, that song has done amazingly well on radio since it won Composer of the Year at the National Songwriter Awards in January, and it's carried on now into all the way to number one, which has been an amazing achievement. It's been one of those creepers that we talk about. Took a little while to get traction. Now everyone just seems to have picked it up and they're running with it, and it's come in at number one.
Fantastic. And coming in at number two?
And number two is Billy McFarland and Wonderland by Night. Billy, we released a single for him as a vocalist, and it went right up into the international charts, but now he's actually hit the instrumental charts at number two this month. Star Central's really pleased to be promoting that track internationally for him.
Yes, and it comes from an album called If It Makes Any Difference. So here's Peggy, and then we'll go into the fabulous Billy McFarland as well. great to have our Irish legend. 70 years he celebrates in music this year, the fabulous Billy McFarland. You are tuned in to OzCountryMusicRadio.com, Oz Radio Gold and Allied International Radio. And today on our international show we have a special guest in the studio, and I'm going to hand over to our co-host Shaza Leigh to introduce the great man.
We welcome to the international show this morning one of the finest Australian artists, and he has a wonderful voice, great stage presence, and he's just recorded a song where Banjo wrote Matilda. Welcome to the show, Col Thompson.
Thank you very much for having me, Shaz. Pleasure to be here. And it's a great song. It's come up fantastic. And I think after 40 years, first time I came to Tamworth and recorded it at Hadley's studio back in 1985. Lindsay was the in-house producer there, and I think it's fantastic to think this 40 years later I've come here and you've given me that beautiful song to do and sing on and record, and Lindsay's done the production on it here at LBS, and I'm thrilled to pieces. It's come up fantastic.
It's actually a wonderful piece of Australian country music nostalgia combined with Australian heritage, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good song. When you first played it to me on the phone, it made the hair stand up the back of my neck. It's a real good song, and I know a good song when I hear it, and I jumped on that. It was fantastic, and for you to have offered it to me to record was absolutely wonderful. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure, mate. We believe in you as an artist, and I'm really pleased that Star Central is now coming on board to promote your music. I believe that this track is going to set you in good stead for the awards season that's coming in Australia, and will certainly get airplay around the world. I'd like to say to you, you've been involved in a lot of festivals in Australia, and you've now started your own during your 40-year career. How does it feel to become a festival promoter in your own right?
Yeah, look, it's a good feeling. I enjoy being able to help other artists too. We've got some great country singers in Australia, and a lot of them don't get off the ground because they don't get the support. And they don't get a great festival to work on, to use as a springboard. And actually, one of the better ones I'm running at the moment is Tooleybuck, the Tooleybuck Murray Muster. It's coming up this month. It's really been building, but it's a great feeling to be able to do it and see it all be a bit of a success. And the main thing is everybody's happy. The people that come to the shows and support, they're happy. I'm happy myself because they're happy. And the entertainers are all happy. So it's a good feeling, and I really enjoy doing it too.
We love doing the first Tooleybuck Festival with you. You've also started a few others since that as well.
Yeah, been doing a few others, Merrigham and one thing and another. So it's something I'll keep going and keep doing as long as the people keep turning up and coming through the door. I'll keep running them. Yeah. You've
also put your own road show that you're taking around the country, predominantly in Victoria, some in New South Wales, with Vanessa Warra.
Yeah, Nessa's going really well. They absolutely love her.
And you, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, but it seems to be all going really well. Yeah, it's a good mixture. With me doing me bush ballads and a few other things, and Vanessa doing her style of music. She sings some of the old classic country songs which people love. So they're getting something old. They get a few of my songs that I've wrote myself, something old, something new, and sort of everything in between. So, but one thing that never fails is the man from Snowy River. I don't matter where I go, I get the request.
You're a bit renowned for that performance. I think it's just the actual energy that you use. People relate to him going down the side of the mountain.
Yeah, well, I get to that part when he's going down the hill. I'm on the horse and riding it myself. I really enjoy it. But
and you are a horseman yourself?
Yeah, I'm a farrier by trade, and still play around with the horses and the rest of it. I could never imagine life without playing around with a horse or having one around me, me dogs and everything. But it's something I relate to and really, really love. And of course, coming from Gippsland, back in 86, 87, I was Gippsland's leading endurance rider.
Wow.
Not many people know that. Still own the Turtons Creek record. for
Awesome.
100 kilometre challenge, it's called. The Turtons Creek Challenge, 5 hours, 3 minutes riding time. On my good horse, Dan, in the hills.
Wow.
Yeah, good horse.
Yeah. Let's come back to your music career quickly. It's great for you to be part of the CCMA National Jamboree coming this January. Have you back on the Town Hall stage? The Town Hall is a bit of a spiritual home for Australian country music in Tamworth. Wonderful for you to be coming back to celebrate 40 years in the Australian country music industry.
Yeah, well, it's just fantastic to be able to stand on that Town Hall stage. The first time I came to Tamworth back in 1985, and I was on the male vocal contest there and stood on that stage, and to come from the bush and then stand up there singing a few songs on the Tamworth Town Hall, unbelievable feeling, and the sound's always good, and the atmosphere is like nothing else. It's fantastic.
And the National Jamboree's been running for over 50 years. It's one of the true historical events in the Tamworth Country Music Festival.
Oh, it's wonderful to be part of that. Thank you very much. And I'm really looking forward to doing that once again, and singing when Banjo wrote Matilda.
Excellent. And you've also running your own shows, quickly?
Yeah, got some shows at the community centre, and got running 3 there with Vanessa. So there'll be a great little show there if anyone's interested.
Yeah. Where Banjo wrote Matilda, back to your song, Lindsay Butler produced that song for you. He believed in the song and he believed in you, which is why he asked me if we could give that song to you. And I'm like, of course. So it's an honour for all of us to be involved with your career and helping you promote this track. I believe that it's going to be one of the greatest bush ballad tracks released this year. I think you're going to be standing up there amongst the best of them when the chips are counted for the awards that come in this season. And I also believe you're going to get massive airplay. I'm sure you have a good feeling about this song too.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's been very well produced. Lindsay put a lot of time in on this song. Thank you, Lindsay. And it's a wonderful thing for people to reach out and do something to assist someone, and that's what you and Lindsay have done with me with this single. It's been a wonderful thing to have your support all throughout the years, through good and bad, and really appreciate it.
Our pleasure, Cole. And without any further ado, thank you for being with us here today on the International Show. And we'd like to share with all of you Col Thompson, Where Banjo Wrote Matilda.
Way out near Dagworth Station, back in 1898, in central western Queensland, where Patterson the Great wrote a tragic story. Waltzing Matilda was the name, our unofficial anthem of worldwide acclaim. How could he then imagine what it would be today? And would he raise a smile at what contemporaries say? His image is recorded from depression of the time, still arouse our deep emotions embedded in our minds. Where Banjo wrote Matilda and the sheep and cattle graze, where pastures meet the waterhole, the combo will amaze. Heart of an inspiration, now etched in history, where Banjo wrote Matilda, there for us to see. morning in the Channel country there. Cool waters offer refuge to wildlife everywhere. Out on the Diamantina, where the Mitchell grasses sway, the sun stretches the horizon at the close of every day. Where Banjo wrote Matilda and the sheep and cattle graze, where pastures meet the water holes, the combo will amaze. Part of an inspiration now etched in history, where Banjo wrote Matilda, there for us to see. Where Banjo wrote Matilda, there for you and me.
That's the fabulous Cole Thompson with his brand new single, Where Banjo Wrote Matilda. What a great track. And always fabulous to have Cole in the studio. And the song that Cole recorded previous to that was also a good one and did very well here too. And that was called The Woman Behind the Man Behind the Wheel. We might play that and wait for Clayton to join us.
Rolling down the highway, the K's go clicking by. I have time to think life over and all those family ties. Then my mind goes into neutral about the woman that waits at home. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. She knows just how I feel. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's the idol of my life. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. Only 2 more days to go and I'll turn this rig around. Then I'll be loaded and I'll be homeward bound. Can't wait to see the kids, they'll be playing in the street, and their mother on the veranda just to make the scene complete. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. She knows just how I feel. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's the idol of my life. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. Rolling down the highway, the K's go clicking by. I have time to think life over and all those family ties. Then my mind goes into neutral about the woman that waits at home. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. She knows just how I feel. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's the idol of my life. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. She knows just how I feel. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's the idol of my life. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel.
She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel. Ah, yeah. She's the woman behind the man behind the wheel.
Yes, Cole Thompson, the woman behind the man behind the wheel. You are tuned in to Oz Radio Gold, Oz Country Music Radio and Allied International Radio. I have the absolute thrill of introducing our listeners for the first time, from my perspective anyway, on air, to talk to Clayton Saunders about this fabulous song that he's got that's on the hot playlist here at Oz and Radio Gold. It's called Slim Dusty. How are you, Clayton? Great to have you on board, mate.
I'm very well, thank you, gentleman Mark, and thank you so much for inviting me onto the show. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure is all mine, particularly when I heard that Slim Dusty song, mate. I was absolutely blown away, and I know that Lindsay Butler up there at the LBS studios have played lead guitar for Slim for about 17 years. He was likewise really happy that you came on board with us here.
Well, it's a real honour to be part of the Star Central stable. I hadn't heard of it before, but now that I do, I'll be putting all my singles through that, so that's great.
That's fabulous. Now, where does the accent come from, Clayton?
Well, I was born in Calcutta in India, so I'm considered Anglo-Indian.
Okay.
But I came to Australia a long time ago. In fact, I arrived here in June 69, and I love it so much I think I might stay.
Good on you. We're thankful for that. And well, about your songwriting, Clayton, did that come first, or were you a singer before that?
Well, I was a singer back in India. I was very fortunate to have been part of India's number one band at the time. It was called the Flintstones, yeah, just like the comics, you know.
Okay, yeah.
And it was a pop band. We were doing all the early Beatles and Monkees and bands like that. And that's when I started the songwriting. But I never did it on a really serious note. It was more intermittent. And then when I came to Australia, I was very fortunate to have been invited to join Johnny Chester. And I was his bass player for about 5 or 6 years. And I did a bit more songwriting then. But nothing, like I said, like I'm doing now, which is I'm writing every single day. But in 84, I was invited to join a very well-known country music show band called Stony Creek.
Yes.
Yep. And at that time, we backed the Star Maker's Quest. And I put in one of my songs through the band at the Tamworth Golden Guitar Awards for Best Song. And we were nominated. We didn't win, but we got the nomination, which I thought was a really wonderful thing.
Well, you know what? It's quite incredible, Clayton, that you've come to us now, because I've been a fan of yours for quite a while. I've played the songs like Your Love, Black Sheep, God Knows, House with a Broken Heart, I think it was called, and also Oh No, Not My Baby. I've been playing all those.
Oh, thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate that.
It's been a pleasure, and so I just thought that the Slim Dusty song would be terrific, and it's probably the culmination of everything that you've ever written, because we're talking about an absolute legend. You know what to the international people introducing Slim Dusty, I say to them, the Slim Dusty's your Elvis Presley. You know?
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Well, you know, a couple of years ago, I wrote a very traditional bush ballad song. It was called The Drover, because I wanted to write something Australian. I was writing songs about love, this, that, and the other.
Okay.
And I wrote that song. But, of course, I wanted to put into the Golden Guitar Awards, but I missed the deadline. But then I thought this year, well, what can I do that's a bit more Australian? And I thought, who better than the king of Australian country music, the incredible Slim Dusty? So I did a lot of research on his life and times and what he achieved, and that's what I came up with. And when it came back to me from Nashville, because that's where I get all my songs recorded, I was so thrilled. It brought a tear to my eye that it came out the way it did.
Yeah, and people can associate with it because the lyric you open up very early that you hadn't experienced Slim Dusty live, and that's the same for a lot of us.
Yes, exactly right. I never did, but I always liked the songs because they were so catchy, but they weren't just Australian and a bush ballad style, but it was, things that you could sing along, like I said, timeless sing-alongs,
Yes, yep. No, his songs were timeless, and evidence of that is how many songs you hear of Slim Dusty today, and not only from Slim, but of course plenty of people doing covers.
Yes, exactly, and he inspired all of us at that stage to go forward with our music career.
Yeah, a whole generation for sure, mate. Well, Clayton, I want to thank you very much for talking to us, and I think we'll catch up again because you've got so much to tell us about your career. And I also used to be in the promotions business in the club industry and had Johnny Chester appear at our club. You may have been there. Bruce Green was his steel player at the time. Were you in the band at that time?
No, I was with Ray Hassler.
Oh, okay. Oh, Ray. Yes, fantastic. Another name. Terrific names.
He was a funny guy. Great pedal steel player.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I'll let you introduce the song, Clayton, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for your time. Well, you're listening to my very latest single about the king of Australian country music, legend Slim Dusty. Enjoy.
You're listening to a Star Central single release, available to radio stations around the world.
I never got the chance to meet Slim Dusty, oh, but I sure love his songs. Stories that celebrate our native land, so many timeless sing-alongs. Mr. David Gordon Kirkpatrick, wish you were still here. The king of Australian country music told us about the pub with no beer. Slim Dusty, the boy who lived his dream. Slim Dusty, his legacy reigns supreme. His traveling show kicked off back in 1954, playing large tents in 100 country halls. He sang about his mate Duncan and lights on the hill, waltzing Matilda his curtain call. He knew how to walk a country mile, a fair dinkum bush balladeer for hire. His image stands proud on two postage stamps, a member of the British Empire. Slim Dusty, the boy who lived his dream. Slim Dusty, his legacy reigns supreme. Joy McKean, his partner both in life and music, beloved children David and Dan, captured forever on the silver screen, the legend that is Slim Dusty the man. In 1983, when the space shuttle passed over Australia, Slim Dusty's version of Waltzing Matilda was beamed from space back to Earth. Slim Dusty, the boy who reached for the stars. Slim Dusty, 38 golden guitars. Slim Dusty, forever in our hearts.
The Star Central team thanks you for listening to another great artist.
He's a great artist, isn't he? Clayton Saunders and Slim Dusty. and fabulous to be able to have the conversation at last with Clayton. We've been trying to line it up, but there's been so many artists coming through of late that we haven't had that opportunity, but we do have now, and we've got that down, and we'll get that out for all our Star Central folks. So that's it for the international show for today. We'll be back next Tuesday with another Showcase International.
Thank you for supporting the international show with Mark Eckel and Shaza Leigh. Proudly sponsored by Star Central and produced by Butler Gilchrist Productions.